What's good, everybody? Yes, sir. We back. We back. We back. We back. Yeah, know it. Man, my intro tearing up from what I can see. So I had to go. I said, let me crank up. Let me go and get into this thing. What's good, everybody? We're going to say goodbye to college football this week, baby. Cause we ain't, a lot of us ain't playing Saturday. So you get some Christmas shopping out of the way. You can go and get your New Year's Eve situation and get everything prepped up. Because, I mean, if you ain't playing Saturday, or, I mean, your bowl game in a couple of weeks, but you got to be, you know what I'm saying? It's all about playing Saturday. And if you ain't playing in no championship, no conference championship game, your season is pretty much over with. So, in the meantime, between time, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to everybody. I'm having a good time today. You know what I'm saying? Like my Florida Gators, we went out and did what we was supposed to do and got us a little win and stuff. Finished the season 10-2. We still can't beat Georgia, so that's pretty much how that go. Oh yeah, that's pretty much how that go. So but I'm gonna get into all college football that happened yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We had some big games on yesterday. We had some decent games on. I want to shout out to Tennessee Volunteers because, to be honest, they finished their season on a 5-game win streak, and they bowl eligible. So when they routed Vanderbilt 28-10, but everybody beating up on Vandy. So but Tennessee, shout out to Tennessee, man. They got it done and all that good stuff, and they bowl eligible, man. Tennessee, you better look out because Tennessee is an up and coming school now. I mean, even though they used to be that big time school, they on their way back. That's just my opinion. They on their way back. Yo. I had to make sure my mic was on. Like, what? Am my mic on? Yeah. It's on. Appreciate it. Anyway, so let's talk for college football, man. Let's get into college football. First of all, the rankings ain't came out yet, so I'm gonna give you what I think the little rankings gonna be when it's time for it. Let's make sure we on the straight mode. I'm gonna give you what I think the rankings is gonna be by the time they drop out. You know what I'm saying? This is my top 10 look like. It could be a little bit different from that, especially from 5 down. You know what I'm saying? But the top 4 teams I think gonna stay the same, and it's gonna stay the same until next weekend through. So that in the conversation of saying Alabama might not be in your top 10. I mean, they lost to Auburn ranked 15, and it was a good game, and Mac Jones played a good game, and all that good stuff. But like I said, I still think that Alabama might not be in the top 10. Auburn might be at number 11. I didn't really think about putting that part up there. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much how that goes. Oh, look at that. I be getting confused with it. That'd be my bad. But like I said, it was a good game. The Iron Bowl was a good game. First and foremost, let's take that down. First and foremost, I'm gonna put it back up in a minute. But first and foremost, the Iron Bowl was a good game. Everybody that was, there we go. Anyway, everybody that was tuned into the game, I think I wasn't at an Iron Bowl party. It was a a get together, which Alabama Auburn fans were there. Some of them are not even real fans. Most of them don't even watch college football, but the game was on TV and Alabama's such a household name, so we watched the game. That's how that went. In the second sense of it, though, it was more like it was a good game, and I kind of told people in the beginning that Bo Nix is not gonna win this football game for Auburn. If Auburn's gonna pull this game off, it's gonna be up to their defense to score some points. At the half, I think the defense was up for the defense compared to what the offense was doing. Scores like 14-19. You know what I'm saying? Some of that conversation, and with me saying that, like, the defense can't kick field goals, and that's the only thing Auburn offense was doing was kicking field goals. They scored a touchdown. Bo Nix throw the touchdown, but like I said, the defense was gonna win the game regardless, and a lot of people didn't want to make that a belief. You know what I'm saying? So, so like I said, I be trying to get everything going by myself. It'd be a hassle, but I think with Auburn winning, beating Alabama, and Alabama was really hoping and praying somebody would lose so they can get put in that thing. I think this gonna be our first year since the playoffs started not to see Alabama in it, not to see this be maybe the second time that two SEC teams are not in it for right now. You know what I'm saying? And one SEC team gonna have to prove it all, because if we'll just say if Georgia does beat, let's just say Georgia beats LSU in the SEC championship game, how far do you drop LSU? I think they finished the regular season undefeated and they lose their championship game. Do you really want to drop them down out of the playoffs? I think that's gonna be a conversation. But let me talk about because the rankings really right now don't matter, because you got a conference championship and all the conference teams, all the conference championship teams are the opponents are subpar. Besides Georgia, LSU, Clemson, and Ohio State. Besides them having being in the frame, Georgia's the only team in the top four that's not undefeated, and they lost to a 2-loss South Carolina team. A lot of people say how they get there, but Georgia has proven though. And they schedule looks better than most. But like I said again, it's all about how the conversation is gonna go now. But give me a second. Got to get that out of there. Anyway, so let's think about it. Okay, Georgia plays LSU for the SEC title game. If Georgia somehow wins that, we're still gonna get to see two SEC teams. I don't think they will pull LSU from 1 and drop them down to 5. That wouldn't be logic. But if Georgia loses, then LSU will stay where they sitting at, and a Wisconsin, a Baylor, Oklahoma. I think let's go back to my top 10 for right now. Utah, but Utah also has to play in a conference title game. Let me make sure that I'm right about that. I don't see it. You see, come on, pal. They're going to number 4 when we win. I think so too, Juwan. I actually think LSU would not drop out of the top 4, even if they do lose. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's gonna be a good game. Like I said, if your team's not playing Saturday, college football for you will be over with until bowl games are announced or whatnot. And just like in the South, when it comes to bowl games and your team not in the top 4 conversation, a bowl game really doesn't matter to you. That's to some people, though, and that's how some people react to it or whatnot. But let me see where Utah plays at next, because I honestly don't think they have do they got a conference championship? I get the load game kind of slow, so they actually won a game yesterday too. I think they beat Rutgers, beat them to death, but pretty much how that goes. Can't never get my I can't never get my stuff to pull up when I wanted to pull up. I guess that's how life go. Yeah. Okay. Utah plays Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. I got it at the top of my paper. Whatnot. But so we'll just say let's just say Oregon beats Utah. Do they get that? Because the fill them 4 slots up, regardless of the only way I feel that let's see. Only way I feel that a team out of the top 10 from this conference championship would jump up into that top 4 is they win the conference championship. I don't think the rankings will matter once the conference championships game's over. Like Utah plays Oregon. Utah's not in it, but Utah can get in it. Utah can get in it if Georgia loses. Like most team, everybody 5 and below is really rooting for LSU or Clemson, because Clemson had a scare, right? And then they played Virginia in the ACC championship. The top 2 teams losing in the conference championship game. I don't know about Ohio State, but LSU lose. I don't think LSU drops out of the top 4, and that's just because they've been undefeated all year and they beat Alabama. I mean, just like Auburn beat Alabama. So that's mostly what the conversation is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. Far as it go, let's see. I will tell you this. Appalachian State will play for the Sun Belt Championship game. Appalachian State finished the season 11-1, and they'll play Louisiana in the Sun Belt Championship. I know that's not a big deal to most people, but I mean, we talking about Appalachian State, same team that pulled Michigan out of their situation some years ago or whatnot. So you know that's beautiful too. So you got Clemson and Virginia in the ACC Championship game, and to me, Clemson should walk the dog with Virginia, but Virginia's been on a 3-game winning streak, so you can't really sleep because you really don't know if Clemson has really what it takes. You know, like since they're scared North Carolina, they've been beating teams 40 or more, 35, 40 points more. I mean, that's the national. I mean, for them to be sitting where they sitting at number 3, don't get me wrong, with the scared North Carolina, the ACC championship game will be decent. It will be decent. I think Virginia put up a fight, but eventually Clemson gonna put them to bed. I think they're gonna still stay in it. We got Ohio State versus Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship, and that game has playoff implications in it too. And the reason I say that is because, reason I say that is because if Wisconsin pulls out the upset over Ohio State, that's going to get a committee something to talk about. Jawan Powell says, but how good are those teams? Those, like, 5 and below, wherever it stops at. Whoever's the 5 team, like the rankings haven't come out. Those are my rankings. So by the time the rankings come out, you know what I'm saying? And the committee says, okay, this is how we going to do this, that, and the third. And, you know, AP, top 10, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you got to think about it like that. If anything, Georgia losing the SEC championship game, that'll be their second loss. Oklahoma, let's see. Oklahoma, not Wisconsin. Oklahoma, Utah. Say Oklahoma, Utah. Not Boise State. Baylor. Oklahoma, Utah, Baylor. Those guys got a chance to fill that void, fill that same spot. I still think if Wisconsin beats Ohio State, they will not go not past 5. Because it's really going to depend on Oklahoma and Baylor. Them the only 2 teams that are really Oklahoma, Utah, and Baylor. Them only 3 teams that are really looking at it like, okay, we can win this thing. We just gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta root for LSU. And then I mean that in the same sentence, like you gotta the LSU Georgia game would determine a lot because Georgia holds the only spot that'll be open up. I don't think Ohio State's losing a game until the playoffs start. I don't think LSU's losing the game until the playoffs start. And I just can't get past the the defending national champions losing until the playoff starts. Now, when the playoff starts, I think it'll be something different. You know what I'm saying? Because then you'll see what's really good and what's really bad. How we really play against out of conference teams that are big time teams. You know what I'm saying? This will be the first year that we don't get to see Alabama play in the playoffs, and they've been in it since the playoffs started. So I think a lot of people just more like we should have been. It should have been this, should have been that. I think it was a little controversy in the Alabama-Auburn game with the lineup for the field goal situation, but a lot of people are making excuses and everything. That was a good game. That Alabama-Auburn game was a good game, and I think a lot of Alabama fans are more salty that they lost by 1 second again. That 1 second mess is really was making a lot of them feel bad about a lot of things. But I wouldn't wake up today with salt on my breath that we lost to Auburn. Like, don't get me wrong, Auburn fans don't even want their head coach, right? Auburn's true freshman quarterback is what he is. He's a true freshman quarterback. He was never gonna win the game. If there's any salt, you gotta ask Mac Jones. Mac Jones is the reason, and Mac Jones had a spectacular game, man. He had a spectacular game, but he also gave the defense 2 touchdowns. He threw more touchdowns to Auburn than Bo Nix did. And you really, like I said, the defense won that game. So now Auburn won't be in the playoffs, but come on now, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's just not do that. Anyway, Auburn won't be in the playoffs, but I mean Alabama won't be there either. I know a lot of people just like, oh yeah, they ain't in it this year. So If Georgia wins the SEC championship game, they don't have to climb the Alabama hump. That's the only thing they couldn't get past is Alabama, and they played in the national championship with Alabama, and they played in the SEC championship game with Alabama. Now they don't have to beat Alabama; they don't have to go through them. So this could be the year for Georgia. And don't get me wrong, with the South Carolina loss, a lot of people are looking like how did they get to sit at a 4-loss South Carolina at the time 4-loss South Carolina team who are not ranked? I mean, Georgia also came back and beat Florida when Florida was 7. Georgia beat Auburn. Georgia has won some games, man, and Georgia has proved to be here. Like that one loss, you can lose early and still bounce back at the end. Alabama has showed a lot of people that. Let me get back to these questions. If Nick Saban fault you, if it's Nick Saban's fault, you went for it on 4th and 8, but you don't go for it on 4th and 6. I don't think it's that the Iron Bowl was a good game, man. I really, 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 really don't think nobody should be upset because the best players that was on the field was not on the field. Was not playing. I mean, like Tua wasn't playing. Bo Nix is a true freshman. So you got true freshman Bo Nix against backup Mac Jones. You got Alabama's best wide receiver nation Alabama's got the best wide receiver nation in the country. You know what I'm saying? Best wide receiver core in the country. And then you got Auburn's defense ain't slouch at all. And in the one couple of plays that Waddle did get the break off or whatnot, the game still was close. Alabama was never taking over that game with 2 turnovers had already. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people say, well, the what he said, the referees helped out. What you know what CBS stand for backwards? That stand for Saban Channel. You do the math. CBS, I mean, you can't play on CBS and not expect the referees to be involved in the game, man. That's just how that goes. Anyway, like I said, it shouldn't be nobody upset about how that game turned out, regardless who won. Nobody. Shouldn't be salty. Shouldn't be going back and forth on Facebook with nobody about how that game turned out. It was a good game. It was a good game. It got a little chippy at times, but Auburn played some sound defense. Mac Jones had a hell of a game. what I mean, it was a really big toss up. You know what I'm saying? And even if they couldn't have lined up for the field goal, they still Alabama still missed one. So I mean, like I said, the game was like that. Auburn defense won the game. If that's the conversation you want to have, Auburn defense won the game. Couldn't been on whether Alabama did whatever. Blah blah blah. I mean, that's just how that go. Georgia beat Georgia Tech 52-7. That game was irrelevant. A lot of games yesterday was just irrelevant. A lot of games yesterday could have been better, but I mean, like I said, it did what it was supposed to do. And to me, I think it was good enough to say, hey, conference championship weekend was gonna be good. But like I said, I ain't have a big old show put together for you. I see all my good old fans that told me they were gonna pull up and they had that work for me. They ain't pull up, so I wasn't tripping on them. But Never Knows podcast, man. This the reason I call this show saying goodbye to college football, cause college football for Florida is out of there. College football, I still will call some games for next week. The championship, definitely do a show Friday noon for championship weekend. But soon as college football get out of there, I mean, what I got to do next? I mean, I got a new show I'm promoting. Cameras and Coronas. Everybody keep telling me, hey, you gonna change the name? Cool, whatever. I still got my fish company, Fish Drip. Back and all that stuff. Fish Tank Drip. I'm still working with the name. But Fish Drip. Got my new company pulling up. I'm cleaning fish tanks and all that good stuff like that. So, I'm setting them up and everything. So, I mean, holler at me if you need your fish tank worked on. But Cameras and Coronas. Here on Nephew TV. You'll see a lot of this, but you'll see a lot more. You'll see a lot of different people and stuff like that. And like I said, that's my new show. We talking about everything. Can I Vent coming back strong? Oh, yeah. Got Can I Vent pulling back up strong. And I'm actually letting a couple rent the studio out so I can get a couple things popping and all that other good stuff. But I ain't really have too much of nothing. I just wanted to show my face again for college football get out of here. I know there's a lot of things going on in my lifeline right now. So, the podcast had to be put on hold and all that other stuff. I mean, I built it from the ground up, whatever. But there's a lot of things going on till I had to take my whole break. But college football season is about out of here. I mean, I probably get the Super Bowl in. I'm going to get the national championship in. I'm going to get the playoffs in and stuff like that. But as far as it go by a weekly episodic show, only thing that'll really be coming upload from this channel would be Cameras and Coronas. You know what I'm saying? And you have to get it with that. We probably don't change the name. They keep saying about the copyright issue, blah, 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 blah. I mean, whatever. And we ain't big yet. It's all good. But, man, look, y'all tune in Friday, man. I'm going to have something definitely put together for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have me a Georgia and a LSU fan in him. We're going to do the show big and get to call that game and all that good stuff like that. But like I said, I just want to show my face and tell everybody I miss y'all and all that good stuff. And that's it, man. That's all I got. Y'all be safe. And I'm out. Appreciate you. Holla at me. Holla, let me go. I told you. That's why I said like that.